Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing some lights for the seedlings, starting our seedling tray. We bought this kit in a box where you have a tray and the light over top, such like this. But we want to put the light up underneath the counter under here and then shine light down. So we won't be using these rods that come with the kit. No need to use these. We're going to install the light, this light, up underneath of here. So we have all this counter space instead of just having the one tray they show in the picture. Which is nice, but we have all this space. So we can just move this box off the counter here. These are the two pieces that were supposed to hold the tray, but I've put some zip ties on them and I'm going to mount this underneath of here. I had previously located and pre-drilled the holes for the screws, so it makes it much easier to get up and under and screw in the plate required to hold the light. I am using zip ties because it will make it easier to remove the light if there are other issues in the future. Of course, the screws have to be short enough so not to puncture into the cabinet above. That would be a problem. These LED lights are our way of lighting up the countertop, but they don't do anything for plants. This is the light turned off and turned on. Off. And above the light here is our usual garage light. So we're going to install this up here like this. So you can leave them on. I just need you to hold it right there. Two hands. Yep. I need another hand here. Yep. The LED light that we're installing today has a spectrum specific for seedlings and young plants. This is a great way to be starting seedlings indoors in the garden studio rather than the greenhouse, which has a different spectrum of light for older plants. I'm sure you could go out there and spend large sums of money on elaborate lighting systems, but for us, we just keep it simple. I could even surround the tray in a foil-lined box to reduce light wastage, but we like it set up this way and it works out just fine. The mat is big enough for another heat pad, which we will be buying soon to warm up the other side of the trays. We have our convenient sockets right along the wall here, and let's see if it works. Look at that. How does it look like on camera, dear? Okay, can you turn off our LEDs? Okay, so this is just the garden light itself, and I'm going to put the cable up along here, underneath of here, and tuck it away.
I wanted these lights under the cabinet in the studio for germination during the month of February. In particular during the seasons, because it's usually quite cold outside. I don't want to get them in the greenhouse that early in the season. I want easy access to them closer to the house.
It's usually about 5 degrees, I think, in the garage.
Yes, so with the studio being built inside the garage, it makes it accessible with the added lighting,
counter space,
added space. A matter of fact, I think the extra cabinetry from the old kitchen in the garage looked better than it did in the kitchen. So we're repurposing and reusing it for the garden to germinate seedlings, to get the trays ready, to get the heat mat ready, and to get the soil warmed up so that the seedlings will slowly acclimatize and get ready for the greenhouse.
There's actually a cupboard for car stuff, on oil and stuff. So, but yes, we have cupboard space for just about everything we need in the garage and garden studio. And the mat there used to be a boot mat from the winter time, but it's being used, repurposed for seedlings.
Yes, so that the water can drain onto that.
Yeah.
And
it's a really good idea. I think you can get those mats at Home Depot.
you can get everything at Home Depot.
And the dollar store.
I think you did a wonderful job in installing those lights. You're always my partner in crime.
Partner in plants.
So we have here Cosmos. I love Cosmos, and I think this year made a conscientious effort to plant my zinnias in small cells. I know they don't particularly like to get transplanted. I usually just put them in the garden bed, but I'm going to make the effort in taking a little bit more care. So these are zinnias State of Affairs, and these are cactus style zinnias, and these are Cosmos. And Cosmos, I love how they sway in the wind. And these are double Cosmos. So I have these planted, the seedlings and the soil are warmed up and they're just about to germinate. Over here, we have all the boxes and shippers that were boxed up last fall and stored throughout the winter. And now I have a task ahead of me. I'm going to get the dahlias, the calla lilies, the begonias, all potted up for the greenhouse.
One thing I've recently learned is not to drown your seedlings. You just spray them lightly with a mist. You were telling me the other day when I got in trouble.
Yes, you did. Because you generously watered those seedlings and they flopped right over.
Glug, glug, glug.
So here we have all the dahlias, calla lilies, begonias, poppies, double poppies, ready for the greenhouse. And we're looking forward to a very colorful garden this summer.
Yeah.
Because it is our 30th wedded anniversary and we want lots of colors.
Oh, sure. 30 different colors.
In the garden this summer. So these are, I've never planted those poppies before. The Flemish garden.
So
poppies.
what do we have going here?
Well, more begonias and more begonias.
Oh, they're tubers.
They're tubers
Right.
that were wintered over in those boxes. This is what they look like. They're a variety of different begonias. I've had them now for 3 years. These are callas, calla lilies. They are trouble-free. They bloom continuously. I love these tubers. I've gifted them to friends and relatives. It's been about 5 years now that I've been growing calla lilies.
And you keep going and going.
I love my collection of calla lilies, and my box of collections keep growing every year. But they're healthy. They're already sprouting in the boxes. The garden is alive and blooming. The tulips are coming along. The peonies are up, and my cages are in. And it's just beautiful. We're going to be giving you a tour in May of all the tulips that are blooming in the garden. But today, a lot of them are open.
It's a real color palette.
It's a nice color palette. So,
Well, see you in the next video.